Don't you wanna stay? Have a glass of lemonade. Talking business, chilling in the shade.
Welcome to Baddies with Business. I'm your host, Malliron Hodge. This season, season 8, we are talking to a few of our incredible speakers that you can expect to see at the 2026 Baddies with Business retreat. Learn and grow as we talk about how being a baddie and business go hand in hand. Enjoy. Welcome back, baddies. Another episode, another incredible speaker. This time we're headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. You are in Charlotte, right? Did I make that? Oh,
like, hold up.
maybe you're not. And it would be wild if you're like, actually, I'm in Connecticut. And I'm like, dang.
How did we get here?
Speech.
Oh, Charlotte, NC. That's where you're coming from.
Okay, so as you can tell, we're going to have a good time. And so, Baddie, can you share a little bit more about yourself, about your interests with the community?
Of course. So my name is Gianni. Most people just call me Gigi. I'm Charlotte, North Carolina. Where do I even begin? I was born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So I've always been a North Carolina girl my whole life. An accidental business owner, as a lot of us sometimes become. Which, funny enough, I always was anti-entrepreneurship. I was 9-to-5 girly all day and night. Like, you could not tell me entrepreneurship was where it's at. Yet here we are. So, we just roll with the punches. But I do system support. So online systems. So, as a business owner, you're looking for systems of, well, how do I invoice? How do I contract? How do I sell my services? You would usually hire someone like me to set up platforms for you. So I use a lot of different platforms. I work with majority female business owners. Girls, we got to look out for each other and help each other out. So that's kind of my focus of helping women in growing businesses set up their systems to give themselves more time and more freedom and less anchored to the computer and more freedom to actually go do the things that they need to do in their business.
That.
Yeah.
Okay. I like how you just was like, I'm an accidental entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Was anti-entrepreneurship, and then you skirt and tell us about your business. So we're going to skirt and go back.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit more about what brought you to this accidental place that is now the thing that you do full time?
Like, definitely.
Tell us about that journey.
Yeah. So that is, I say it's a funny story, but I don't actually know if it's even funny. COVID, COVID happened. So my background is in wedding and event planning. I was wedding and event director at a venue for basically from college up until, I guess, I don't even know, early mid-20s. I decided I kind of couldn't go any further in that job. I was like, I've kind of reached the peak. Because we were all inclusive, I was like, let me try to do events elsewhere, see if I'm really good at what I do. So I took on another event job, hated it, quit after like 3 months. And then I pivoted and was like, let me try something else in hospitality. So I became an assistant box office manager. So I tried ticketing. I worked there for a month. My supervisor quit. I stumbled and figured it out until COVID happened. And then, events weren't happening. So they shut us down. So I was at home at the time. My oldest was in kindergarten. So I was just home, barely doing any work for over a year. That's when I met my husband. He's a business owner. And he was like, hey, could you help me out with some things? And you knew some admin things. So started helping him out. He had a friend who owned a business. She was like, hey, can you help me out? They knew a friend who was like, can you help me out? So before I knew it, I was spending more time helping these business owners with whatever they needed. It could be Canva documents. It could be Google documents. It could be, hey, can you call these clients for me? Literally, I was basically a virtual assistant before I realized what being a virtual assistant was. So I did that for a while. That was probably going into 2021. And then my husband was like, we should move in together because we were just dating at the time. I was like, okay, cool. We moved in together. Very quickly after that, I found out I was pregnant with my second child. A couple months after that, he proposed. Couple months after that, we got married. Couple months after that, we bought a house. Literally all still in 2021. All happened in 1 year. So we moved in together, got pregnant with our middle daughter, got engaged, got married, bought a house, sold a house. 2021 concluded. So that was a crazy year, but it worked out because when we moved in together, I had stepped away from my box office job and I was continuing to get referrals from people. And that's when I was like, okay, I work with several people that work in this one platform called Dubsado. I learned that it's a CRM and I really enjoyed the system itself. So I was like, I don't want to do this hourly helping people with random stuff anymore. I'm going to help people set up this system. From there, it's kind of broadened into other systems. So whether it be Dubsado or Notion or Thrivecart or Shopify, like all these different platforms that you don't necessarily have to be a specialist, quote unquote, to set up. But I was finding that a lot of times business owners are like, I just don't have the time. Like I'm struggling to offer the service that I'm offering or the good that I'm offering. I don't have time or I don't want to sit here and figure out how do I get my email to connect to my this, to connect to my that. And then it kind of became coaching and kind of all rolled into this thing where now 4 years in, I basically just consider myself a system specialist. So for anyone that's like, I don't know what I'm doing system wise, I'm like, okay, let's talk. What do we need to do to set up systems to support you in your business?
Yes.
It just all spiraled, girl, spiraled.
Okay. This is exciting. I know you like tripped and fell into all of these things, but I want to applaud you because the thing that you're doing, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs that I have either coached or interacted with or in the Baddie community, the systems is an afterthought.
Yeah.
Or they're starting businesses and they don't even realize that they need these systems until some change starts coming in and they're like, why is everything falling through the cracks? Why can't I answer the emails? Why can't I do these things? Why did I not realize that this client hasn't paid their invoice in months? All these things. And it is from not having those systems. And so I commend you for being that person that is the glue that helps us hold our businesses together.
And that it is truly an overlooked thing, but it's something that, especially new businesses, you know, we get excited about our website. We get excited about our business cards. We get excited about like all these wonderful things we're going to do. And then you start getting those clients and you're like, oh, I'm sending out a Cash App link to get paid. Or maybe you don't even have a contract until someone says, hey, can you send me your contract? You're like, oh, I don't have that. How do I do that? Is that Google Docs? So there's a lot that you're figuring out when you're first starting a business. And I always say for like younger businesses, there's nothing wrong with sending a Google Doc. There's nothing wrong with, you know, using Zelle for your payment. But you have to do it in such a way that looks professional. And eventually you're going to outgrow that. So then you go to the next level. You might get a system. After that system, maybe your clientele grows and you got to up to another system. So it's all these phases in business. And as you get busier, a lot of times you're like, I just don't have the capacity to figure this out. Or I don't want to figure it out. I want to go sell my candles. I don't want to set up my system, which is fine. That's why you got me.
Yes. And in the system setup, for you, is it you set it up so they can set it and forget it? Or is it maintenance that is required?
There's always maintenance. I always say, it's like that old infomercial, like set it and forget it. I'm always like, you never set it and forget it. Like there, you can set it for a time, but please don't forget about it. You are definitely going to have to go in there. I think we live in a fast-paced, automated society. So I often hear the two things I hear is like, oh, I don't want my system to feel automated, but also I don't want to manually do this. Well, we got to find a middle ground in there because while you don't want, you know, a new email to come in, maybe you want an automated message back, but eventually you're going to have to jump in and talk to that person. You're going to, so it's a process, but every business type is different. So you have some businesses that maybe you can step back a little bit more and we can set up a system that is a little bit more automated so you're not having to jump in every day. But then you have other businesses, if you're a coach or if you're, you know, a consultant, you are the brand. So you're going to jump in there and talk to people all the time. So never set it and forget it, but it depends on your business type of how automated you have to be, how manual you have to be. You really have to figure out your own sweet spot. And sometimes that takes some trial and error.
Okay. So do not listen to what I just said and set it and forget it. Set it and engage with it.
There you go.
Yes.
Set it and engage with it. I love it.
All right. Okay. So Systems Gigi. Say that I am a baddie. I just started my Lego floral business.
Yes.
It's some bouquet of rose Legos. Okay, just go with me, Coach Gigi. Okay, so I just started. Things have been going well, and now other people want me to coach them on what it looks like to start their Lego floral business. I come to you not knowing what to do. Where do we go?
Yeah. So that would usually be, I just had one of these calls yesterday. I usually kick off with like a client experience or systems audit sort of thing. So I call it a client journey. A lot of times we have steps that we take. We have a path that we walk down that's pretty similar every single time that we offer this service, but then it kind of changes a little bit. So sometimes people are like, hey, I'm overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
My clients are growing. Got people asking me to help them, with their Lego floral business. What do I do? A lot of times that just starts with, we just need to sit down and talk. To walk me through your process. What do you typically do? When someone emails you and says, hey, I want to learn how to do this. Can you teach me? What's your next step? Do you email them back? Do you say, hey, let's hop on a call? Do you require them to pay you something? What's your process? So it's literally just a conversation. Based on what you do and how you want to operate, that's when I can come in and say, okay, based on what you're talking about, this is a system that I think could work for you. Now, granted, I don't own any of these systems. These are platforms that just exist out in the world.
Yeah.
But I know enough of them to say, okay, this is what you need. This is what I think that you need. Let's kind of build that out. And tell me how manual do you want to be? How in it do you want to be? If you say, I just want to set this as autopilot as possible.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a different system than what I would offer to somebody else. So it all begins with just a conversation, but you got to know what you want your steps to be. You can't go into it blindly,
Okay. Ooh, I love that. I just want the baddies and the listeners to know you just got coaching from Coach Gigi right there at no cost. So
0.
What I'm asking of you is if you want to work with Gigi, you need to reach out because this is the time to, it's the top of the year. You're getting settled. You might have made a bingo card, a vision board, last month in January. And now that you're in February, you're now like, okay, what is the things that I want to do for you? And this is the time to really lock in. And so if they want to work with you, what are the ways that people can engage with you or set up that time to have that conversation, as you mentioned?
Yeah. So website is always the best way to reach me. GFittsAssist.com. You could find me on Instagram. It's Gianni.fitts. Remember, I started my business before I was married. So Fitts is my maiden name. FITTS. So you can find me on Instagram at Gianni.fitts. Granted, I'm not the best Instagram person at all. You will probably just mostly see stories of my kids. But I promise if you send me a message, I'm going to reach out to you. But email is always the best way. You can send me a message on there or you can go straight into scheduling a call. And then we just always kick off with just no pressure. Just tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. I always tell people once I've connected with you once, I'm in your circle whether you want me to be or not. So I'm always just an email away. Now, granted, I can't be giving away all the gems for free. But, once you're in the circle, you got me forever. I literally signed all of my emails with your digital bestie. I'm here. So website or Instagram are typically the best ways to find me. Yeah.
Okay, your digital bestie. And if you are like, okay, I'm going to send this message on Instagram and I'm going to send this email and Gigi, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I want to see you in person soon. Look no further. You like that setup? Look no further than the 2026 Baddies of Business Retreat and Community Bazaar. And so you are going to be one of our incredible speakers in our growing track. So for Baddies, if you're like, I'm forgetting what growing track is for those who are in years 4 and 5. So you've been in business for a couple years. You might be like Gigi, you've been in business for a couple years. You have gone on a journey, but you have now settled into like, I'm in my bag. I know what I do. People call me for a set thing. And now I need to put systems in place. And so the title of your session is Strong Roots, Steady Growth, laying your foundation with systems.
Yes.
So can you share a little bit more about what the Baddies can expect during your session?
Yeah, so I'm not doing in front. I'm still laying it out. We're still figuring out the steps, but the vibe is there. So that's all that matters. But specifically for Baddies in this track, and I love this track because, like you said, you're over the hump. You've already figured out what your service or your good is. A lot of times businesses are still figuring that out. You can't put the cart before the horse. So in my session, I am planning to dive more into refining the systems if you don't already have them, because even at year 4 and year 5, a lot of times we have systems set up, but they're not serving us how we need them to. Our clientele has grown. So now maybe the system that we had is a little overwhelmed, or it's just not quite getting it. And I think a lot of times we get to a point where we get a little scared because that's the system I've had this whole time. I don't want to change. But as your business grows and as you realize I now have a team, maybe I need a little bit more freedom. We got to make some adjustments to what that system is. So we're going to be talking about choosing your systems and setting up systems that don't just work for the business, but also give you your time back so that you're not just sitting around at your computer all the time. It's building a tech stack that really works for you and your business at that time, but still being okay with making changes if you need to.
Ooh, that's going to be good. Okay, so if you have not gotten your ticket and you've been like, I've been waiting for this moment, this is your moment.
This is it. Do
this
it
is your
now.
moment.
Don't wait.
So open up your phone, open up the web browser, okay? Go on Beyonce's internet and secure your ticket. There's still time.
Right now. Get yourself a Christmas, holiday present, whatever it is. Get yourself something.
Mm-hmm.
Even just like, a little self-care treat. You need this.
Yeah.
You need
a
this. You want this.
Pull up to Colorado. Hang out with me and Gigi.
Yes.
Okay? Because we will have fun in the workshop, but we're also going to have fun the rest of the weekend.
The whole time.
So good.
Be cutting up the whole time.
The whole time. Okay. This is your first time speaking with us, but this is also your first time attending the retreat and bazaar. So what are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to putting on real clothes and getting out of the house. No. I'm honestly very, very much looking forward to meeting people and connecting with people, especially, like I told you before, I primarily work with female business or women in business. So I'm really excited to meet and connect. And I love hearing stories, all the different types of businesses. It's just so interesting to me, the things that people find that then they're able to build a business from. So I'm really excited to hear people's stories and see where they are and how did they get there and really just connect with people.
Yes.
It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited.
It's going to be so fun. All the connections going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to be incredible. Okay. So we're going to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know how I just made up that Lego floral business? Well, we're going to think about those flowers and we want to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. So, Gigi, what flowers would you like to give out to baddies who have supported you across the last 4 years of your business?
There's been so many. It's a couple, so I'm not going to name any specific names, but I am going to send them this episode so they can look at it. I have a group of ladies that have literally trusted me since the very beginning, even if we're not working on a specific project together, where if they need something or a question, I'm a lot of times their first stop. And I think it just speaks to like the trust that we built and the friendship that we built and the idea that you don't have to do this alone. So shout out to my monthly support girls, the ladies that I work with on a recurring, every month we're talking at some point, even if it's just a check-in. The appreciation that I have for them is like unmatched. They are like my go-to ladies. We talk about family, we talk about personal things, but anytime they have a business question, and they'll always hit me with, you might not do this, but you're the first person I'm gonna ask for this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can, I will. And if I can't, then I try my best to point them in the right direction. So my monthly ladies, I love y'all. Y'all been around for the long haul.
Yes. So shout out to all of you monthly ladies. You know who you are. Hopefully you can smell those flowers. These are actual flowers now. They are not Lego flowers, but hopefully you can smell them and feel the love, and you are grinning from ear to ear.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So knowing that you kind of stumbled into your business and now it is now flourishing and doing all of its big GFitts things. As you think about the next 2 to 3 years, where do you aspire for your business to be? And how can the community of baddies and listeners help you get there?
Yes. So I always think it's like a natural pivot, and it's kind of happening now a little bit, where I see more coaching, more consultation, more community building. I think a lot of times we kind of feel alone in this entrepreneurship thing. So I could definitely see some shifting happening of getting more into a consultation sort of world. So as far as like helping to get to that point, it's all about building the community, not just following each other on social media and, supporting the newsletter and all of those things, but pass it along to the next person. It may not apply to you, but pass it along to somebody else that you know to say, hey, like, I thought this piqued my interest. Like, maybe it could help you out too. So it's sharing the wealth a little bit. So, and I always try to do the same. If I see something or I get a newsletter from somebody and it doesn't apply to me, but I know somebody that I think it could help, I'm going to pass it along to them. So it's sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge, not keeping anything to yourself. And if what I'm talking about doesn't resonate with you, if you know somebody that it does, pass it along to them.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So coaching, building community, and staying in community by sharing the newsletter, the resource, a post, all of these things that might be inspiring to them in life, but also in their business as well.
Yes.
So I love that. So community, y'all know what to do. Tap in.
Lock in.
Start sharing. Okay. So you've talked about, but if you want to share one more time where we can find you on social media and the internet, I'm going to make sure to include this in the description of the episode, but one more time for the people.
Yeah, definitely. So find me on GFitts Assist. That's GFITTSASSIST.com, GFittsAssist.com. My Instagram handle is very similar. It's at Gianni, GIANNI .fitts, FITTS. My email and everything is listed on my website. So like I said, website is always the best way to reach me. And because we talked about systems, we got to go down the path. The path I've laid out is through the website. So go through the website. That's always the easiest way to reach me. And like I said, once I'm in your circle, you can't get rid of me. I'm always going to be around.
Once she's in your system, she ain't going nowhere.
Getting out.
Okay. I love it. Okay. We have come to the end of the episode. Okay. And it has been a wonderful journey. And so in closing, I want to leave you with the opportunity to share your baddie benediction, like a good Southern Baptist church.
Ooh,
okay.
Yes.
So this can be a prayer. This can be a quote. It can be a blessing. It can be words of encouragement. Maybe it's a song. Maybe it's a poem, but you choose. What is your closing baddie benediction?
Ooh, that is good. This is something that I think I might have made up. I don't actually remember, but it's something that I've always kind of like told myself in business and in personal life. If it feels easy and it feels right, those are usually the things that you need to be pouring into. It's when you're hitting a lot of roadblocks, and not saying friction is bad, but I think a lot of times we kind of force things that aren't supposed to be. And if we're hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and you prayed about it and it's still hitting a bunch of roadblocks, that's probably not the path you need to be going down. So if it feels easy and it feels right, lean into those feelings. That's whether you call it discernment or a gut feeling or whatever it is, you know what's best for you. So if it feels right, lean into it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Baddies with Business. It's been great to have you. I hope you've learned something and gained some new insight. Check out the show notes to find out more information about the featured baddie. Go give them a follow and continue to support Baddies with Business by visiting www.baddieswithbusiness.com. Also, you can follow Baddies with Business on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Baddies with Business. We look forward to hearing from you soon. If you want some behind the scenes and to check out the clips, consider being a Patreon. Information in the show notes. Thank you, and continue to be bad, be bold, and be a baddie.